What if I told you that the six-figure status symbol in your neighbor's driveway, the one that screams success and sophistication, is actually a ticking financial time bomb? That the pinnacle of automotive luxury, engineered with meticulous precision and adorned with the finest materials, is now worth less than a used Honda Civic? Impossible, you say? Think again. Today we're pulling back the velvet curtain. We're exposing the dark side of luxury car ownership. A world where dreams turn into depreciation, disasters, and where the ultimate status symbol becomes the ultimate financial burden. These are the cars nobody wants to buy, and they are now virtually worthless. Let's kick things off with a car that has practically become synonymous with rapid depreciation. The BMW 7 Series. For decades, the 7 Series has been BMW's technological tour de force, their flagship sedan designed to go head-to-head with the Mercedes S-Class. It's packed with cutting-edge features, luxurious appointments, and powerful engines. When new, these cars command six-figure price tags, easily topping $100,000 or even $120,000 for a well-optioned model. But here's the brutal truth. The BMW 7 Series loses value faster than a politician loses credibility. We're talking about a staggering 60 to 70% depreciation in just the first 5 years. Let that sink in. A car you bought for $100,000 just 5 years ago could now be worth a mere $30,000. That's a $70,000 loss, enough to buy a brand new, perfectly reliable family sedan. Or, a small house in some parts of the country. Why such a dramatic drop? Well, part of it is the sheer complexity. The 7 Series is BMW's technology demonstrator. It's got gesture control, self-parking features, night vision, massaging seats, and air suspension that can make it glide over bumps like a magic carpet. When these features are new, they're impressive. But when they break, they are eye-wateringly expensive to fix. Imagine a single headlight assembly costing more than a monthly car payment on a brand new car, or an air suspension component failing, leaving you with a repair bill that rivals the car's current market value. This car has more computers than the Apollo mission, and sometimes it feels like they're all running Windows Vista. And let's not even get started on the reliability. While BMW has made strides, the 7 Series, especially certain generations, has a reputation for being a money pit. We're talking about common issues like oil leaks, coolant leaks, electrical gremlins that cause random warning lights, and transmission problems. These aren't cheap fixes. A simple sensor replacement can turn into a multi-day diagnostic nightmare at a specialist shop, racking up labour costs faster than a drag car on a quarter-mile strip. The original owners, often leasing these cars, simply hand them back at the end of their term, leaving the second and third owners to deal with the financial fallout. It's an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? You see a used 7 Series for a fraction of its original price and you think, finally, I can afford my dream car. I'm so smart for buying used. But then the first repair bill hits and the dream quickly turns into a nightmare. You're stuck with a car that's expensive to maintain, difficult to diagnose, and impossible to sell without taking a massive loss. It's the automotive equivalent of buying a mansion for pennies on the dollar, only to discover the plumbing is made of spaghetti and the roof is a colander. Ah, Maserati. The name itself conjures images of Italian passion, roaring engines, and exclusivity. For decades, owning a Maserati was a statement, a sign that you appreciated automotive artistry and performance. Then came the Ghibli. Launched in 2013, the Ghibli was supposed to be Maserati's volume seller, their entry-level luxury sedan, designed to compete with the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class. It offered seductive styling, a Ferrari-derived engine note, and that iconic Trident badge, all at a more affordable price point. Affordable, that is, until you factor in the depreciation. The Maserati Ghibli and its larger sibling, the Quattroporte, are arguably the kings of depreciation. We're talking about a jaw-dropping 65% or more depreciation in just 5 years. A Ghibli that cost you $70,000 to $80,000 new can now be found for under $25,000. The Quattroporte, which could easily hit $100,000 or more, now struggles to fetch $30,000 on the used market. It's a financial freefall that makes the BMW 7 Series look like a solid investment. And here's a surprising fact that often leaves Maserati owners red-faced. The Ghibli, despite its exotic badge and Ferrari-derived engine, shares a surprising number of parts with Chrysler and Jeep models. Yes, you heard that right. Window switches, infotainment system components, even some underlying chassis architecture. Imagine paying top dollar for Italian luxury, only to find out your window switch is the same one found in a Dodge Charger. It's a bitter pill to swallow, and it certainly doesn't help the resale value when potential buyers realize they're paying a premium for a badge, not necessarily for bespoke engineering throughout. But the depreciation isn't just about shared parts. It's also about the cost of ownership. Maserati's reliability record, while improving, has historically been spotty. Owners frequently report electrical problems, from quirky infotainment glitches to more serious issues with sensors and wiring. The brakes, while powerful, tend to wear out quickly, and replacing them isn't cheap. And then there are the infamous sticky buttons. Yes, a common issue where the soft touch coating on interior buttons degrades and becomes a gooey, sticky mess. It's a minor detail, but it's a constant reminder of the car's less than perfect build quality. The allure of a cheap, used Maserati is undeniable. That gorgeous styling, that intoxicating exhaust note from the Ferrari-built V6. It whispers promises of passion and performance, but the reality is often a frustrating cycle of expensive repairs and maintenance. It's the automotive equivalent of a supermodel who can't cook and sets the kitchen on fire every time they try to make toast. Beautiful to look at, but a nightmare to live with. Have you ever been tempted by a cheap, used Maserati? Maybe you've seen one online for a price that seems too good to be true. Let us know in the comments if you'd still take the risk, or if you've been burned by one of these Italian heartbreakers. Your stories could save someone else a fortune. When Jaguar unveiled the I-Pace in 2018, it was hailed as a game-changer, a stunning all-electric SUV from a storied British luxury brand designed to take on Tesla head-on. It was sleek, futuristic, and promised exhilarating performance with zero emissions. It even won the prestigious World Car of the Year award in 2019, beating out some serious competition. For a moment, it seemed like Jaguar had finally found its footing in the modern automotive landscape. But then reality set in, and the I-Pace began its shocking descent into depreciation oblivion. The Jaguar I-Pace is losing value at an alarming rate, often exceeding 70% in just 5 years. To put that into perspective, a new I-Pace could easily cost you upwards of $70,000 to $80,000. Today, you can find 5-year-old examples for under $25,000, sometimes even closer to $15,000. That's a massive hit for early adopters who bought into the dream. While all EVs have seen some depreciation, the I-Pace's plummet is particularly steep, making it one of the fastest depreciating cars on the market, electric or otherwise. So, what went wrong? The I-Pace is a beautiful car and it drives remarkably well. The problem, it seems, lies in its execution and the rapidly evolving EV landscape. Owners have reported a litany of issues, from persistent software glitches that cause the infotainment system to freeze or reboot, to more serious problems with battery degradation and charging. Many early I-Paces suffered from inconsistent charging speeds, range anxiety that was worse than advertised, and a general lack of polish in the user experience compared to its rivals. And let's not forget the service experience. While Jaguar dealerships are equipped to handle their traditional internal combustion engine vehicles, many struggled with the complexities of EV diagnostics and repairs. Getting parts could be a nightmare, and finding technicians trained to fix these advanced electric systems was often a challenge. This left early adopters feeling abandoned, stuck with a cutting-edge vehicle that was constantly battling its own technology. The I-Pace is like that brilliant but troubled artist who creates a masterpiece and then immediately forgets how they did it. It had all the ingredients for success: stunning looks, impressive performance, and the backing of a luxury brand. But the reliability issues, coupled with the rapid advancements in EV technology from competitors, turned it into a depreciation disaster. It's a cautionary tale for anyone looking to jump into the bleeding edge of automotive technology. We've talked about BMW, we've talked about Maserati, and we've touched on Jaguar. Now, let's turn our attention to another German luxury powerhouse, Audi, specifically the A6, and its more stylish, coupe-like sibling, the A7. These are beautiful cars, known for their understated elegance, quattro all-wheel drive, and meticulously crafted interiors. When new, They compete directly with the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, offering a compelling alternative for those who prefer a more subtle approach to luxury. Yet despite their many virtues, the Audi A6 and A7 suffer from significant depreciation. We're seeing 50-60% value loss in just 5 years, putting them squarely in the worthless category for many original owners. While not as dramatic as the Maserati or the I-Pace, it's still a substantial hit, especially when you consider their initial price tags. Why do these otherwise excellent cars struggle so much on the used market? It's a combination of factors, some unique to Audi and some common to the luxury segment. Part of the challenge for Audi is that they often get overlooked in the used market compared to their flashier BMW and Mercedes rivals. People tend to gravitate towards the more recognizable badges, even if the Audi offers a superior driving experience or interior. But beyond perception, there are practical reasons. The complex MMI infotainment system, while cutting edge when new, can become dated quickly and be expensive to repair if it malfunctions. The optional air suspension, while providing a sublime ride, is another potential 5-figure repair bill waiting to happen. And while Audi engines are generally robust, some older models had issues with timing chains or excessive oil consumption, leading to costly engine-out services. The emotional trigger here is the feeling of being a savvy buyer. You chose the understated luxury, the car that doesn't scream for attention but quietly impresses with its quality and refinement. You thought you were making a smart choice, avoiding the perceived pitfalls of other brands. But then the reality of maintenance costs and plummeting resale value hits, and you realize that understated can also mean underappreciated on the used car market. Buying a used Audi can sometimes feel like playing a game of Russian roulette with your wallet. You might get a few good years, or you might get a $5,000 bill for a new transmission. So we've looked at the BMW 7 Series, the Maserati Ghibli, the Jaguar I-Pace, and now the Audi A6 and A7. Which one shocks you most with its depreciation? Which one would you still consider buying, despite the risks? Let us know in the comments below. Your insights help us all navigate this crazy world of luxury car ownership. From the sleek sedans and cutting-edge EVs, we now turn our attention to the titans of luxury, the full-size SUVs. These are the vehicles that dominate the road, offering cavernous interiors, commanding driving positions, and enough chrome to blind a small village. We're talking about the Cadillac Escalade ESV and the Infiniti QX80. When new, these American and Japanese land yachts are status symbols, often seen ferrying celebrities, large families, or anyone who needs to make a grand entrance. But like many luxury vehicles, their initial grandeur quickly fades into a tale of massive depreciation. The Cadillac Escalade ESV and Infiniti QX80, despite their imposing presence, suffer from significant value loss. While exact figures vary by year and trim, it's not uncommon to see these SUVs lose 50-60% of their value in the first 5 years. A fully loaded Escalade ESV that retailed for $90,000 or more can now be found for under $40,000. The Infiniti QX80, often starting in the $60,000, $70,000 range, can drop into the low 20,000s. That's a huge chunk of change, especially for vehicles that are essentially glorified family haulers. Why such a steep decline? Well, several factors contribute. First, their sheer size and thirst for fuel. These are not economical vehicles to run. Their massive V8 engines, while powerful, consume gasoline at an alarming rate, making them expensive to operate, especially with fluctuating fuel prices. Second, the maintenance costs. Replacing tires on these behemoths can cost upwards of $1,000 for a set. Brake jobs are equally expensive due to the weight and size of the vehicles. And like other luxury cars, their complex infotainment systems and air suspension components are prone to expensive failures. The Escalade, in particular, has a unique challenge: its pop culture status. While it's been featured in countless music videos and movies, that celebrity status often means it's driven hard, modified, and sometimes neglected. The Infiniti QX80, while perhaps less flashy, still carries the burden of being a large, complex vehicle with luxury-level repair bills. The emotional trigger here is the desire for the ultimate family hauler or the ultimate status symbol, and the harsh reality of the running costs. These things have their own zip code and a drinking problem that would make a sailor blush. We've taken a journey today through the dark underbelly of the luxury car market. We've seen how the BMW 7 Series, the Maserati Ghibli, the Jaguar I-Pace, the Audi A6 and A7, and the Cadillac Escalade ESV and Infiniti QX80, once symbols of success and aspiration, can quickly become financial black holes. Their plummeting values are a stark reminder that in the automotive world, prestige doesn't always equate to lasting value. The cars we've looked at today are a cautionary tale. They prove that the most expensive car to buy isn't always the best car to own. The cutting-edge technology that makes them so desirable when new often becomes a liability as they age, leading to eye-watering repair bills that far outweigh their depreciated market value. The allure of a cheap luxury car can be incredibly strong. But as we've seen, that low purchase price is often just the down payment on a much larger ongoing expense. But here's the thing. These cars can still be amazing to drive. When they work, they offer levels of comfort, performance, and sophistication that are hard to match. For the mechanically inclined, for those with deep pockets, or for those who simply love a challenge, a heavily depreciated luxury car can be a rewarding project. But for the average buyer, for someone looking for reliable, affordable transportation, they are best avoided. They represent an opportunity for the brave, the mechanically inclined, and yes, perhaps the financially foolish. The question is, which one are you? So, before you pull the trigger on that suspiciously cheap luxury sedan or SUV, remember the stories we've shared today. Do your research, understand the true cost of ownership, and be prepared for the potential financial pitfalls. Sometimes the most luxurious thing you can own is peace of mind.